What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this a topic as far as like with Caitlin Clark, far as fans and fans are growing impatient with the with the progress and the situation that's going on in with the Indiana Fever, right? And so Lynn Dunn, who worked she was in the front office, Indiana Fever front office. And when Caitlin Clark first got there, she said that this process would be a 5-year process, right? And a lot of people didn't want to hear that. They really, they kind of like, really didn't pay any attention to, what Lynn Dunn said as far as like the process for getting the Indiana Fever up and run to be up to the level where they are a championship type team. And a lot of people, thought that because they had a great franchise ball player in Caitlin Clark, that they could, like this, the process would be sped up, right? And so I'm starting to think with what I'm seeing with the Indiana Fever that might be I think that might be a better estimate than what people originally thought, and not because like Caitlin Clark is not a really good excellent basketball player. That's not why I'm saying that a 5-year plan right now don't seem like to be too unreasonable. So take into account like the Indiana Fever are like into they're into year two, and they just had so many distractions. Number one, they need to like build their chemistry. Like they have a lot of new pieces this year, so that's it. And that's number one. They need to develop the chemistry between those their core ball players. That's number one. Then on top of that, there's just so many distractions that I don't know like how you overcome these distractions. So even under the best of circumstances, like if the Indiana Fever was able to get like a strong, solid core of ball players in there to work towards getting a championship, I still think that would take some time, right? But this situation, like you have like the distraction now of Dewana Bonner and her not really for some reason or another not really being happy on this team and wanting to go to I think she want to go to Phoenix, right? So Dewana Bonner, she don't want to be there. But this is the thing, and for whatever reason, but this is the thing. So when the Indiana Fever recruited Dewana Bonner and they bought Dewana Bonner, and Dewana Bonner knew that she knew what her role was going to be on this team. And so for her to know what her role was going to be on this team, and what the team expected out of her, and then not even halfway through the season, almost halfway through the season, for her not to be happy there and want to go somewhere else, this just let me know that there are some things going on with this Indiana Fever team that's going to like stunt the growth of this team. Not even really considering, like, never mind what's going on as far as like other teams and other players around the league coming at Caitlin Clark, and that's one thing. But when you have in-house issues and you can't keep everybody on your team on the same page, that's even worse to than having issues with other players and other teams around the league. Because if you have players with somebody outside of your uh, organization or outside of your team, then the team can rally around each other and use that to motivate themselves to be a better team. But this is not like that, right? You have player, you got Dewana Bonner who is not happy with the situation. And I just think that, it's going to be hard for the Indiana Fever to really put a team around Caitlin Clark that's going to be able to be successful. I never seen anything like this, right? Like I said, when they recruited Dewana Bonner and you bought Kelsey Mitchell back and you got Sophie Cunningham. It seemed like, all right, everybody knew, all right, so this is our mission. Our mission is to come together and win a championship. But it don't seem like it's working out that way. It's just like one issue after another. First, you got people talking about like, well, Chris, the coach, Stephanie White, is not allowing Caitlin Clark to play to her strengths. So there's a conflict there, right? And so with that conflict, that's going to take time to work itself out because the player and coach need to develop like a balance and a trust for each other. Like how much leeway do you give a player like Caitlin Clark? And then the player has to say, well, how much do you trust, you know, uh, 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 Stephanie White? So there's a learning curve between the coach and the player, right? And then so it's just a lot. It's just a lot going on as far as like with this team. I don't know if they'll be able to it's just really, in my opinion, it's not really looking good with all that's going on and the distractions. Like I said, especially when you have distractions going on from with in-house. Outside of your team, I think that's different. But when you have distractions going on in-house, that's just not good at all. And I think it really stunts the growth of the team. You know, then you have the issue with like what did Kelsey Mitchell say? She said that, like our team is soft. We play soft. So and which, a lot of people can agree. And so and in another video I talked about like how this team need to rally around each other and stick with each other to, you know, to make the team stronger and to come together for a common cause. But I don't know that they'll be able to do that because like it's just that women just come to the table with just so much more. um I don't want to say so many more. I ain't gonna say baggage, but so many more issues that they have. You got jealousy. People on your own team can be jealous of you. That can derail your success. Then you have people on your team, like people on the same team who won't stick up for each other. Um, nobody wants to be nobody wants to be Robin. You see that everybody wants to be Batman. Everybody wants to have credit for the success. It's really going to be tough for this Indiana Fever team to find success. I think it's going to be tough for Caitlin Clark to find success in the WNBA, right? Because nobody wants to give. Everybody wants credit. Everybody wants to prove that they are better than Caitlin Clark. Everybody wants to prove that that Caitlin Clark is not the face of the league. So it's really going to be tough for Caitlin Clark to win a championship. And so I think also the fans are really getting impatient with what's going on with the Indiana Fever. I think that, they're impatient because they thought that really that, like the Indiana Fever, once they put the right people and the personnel around Caitlin Clark, that they'll be able to challenge for a championship and be in the thick of things. But it's a whole lot going on behind the scenes on that Indiana Fever that's derailing, that's going to really derail that success. And in my opinion, I think it would be easier for what's the young lady for Paige Beckers to win a championship, to be on a championship team and win, than it would be for Caitlin Clark. And that's because people do not want to see Caitlin Clark win. Even if you're on Caitlin Clark's team, like the jealousy, in my opinion, would just overrule and overshadow the you know the 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 need or the want for a championship. And so I'm gonna continue to like make more videos about this, because there's some things like I see like on a women's team that you wouldn't see on the men's team, as far as like men being able to unite for a common cause. Even like with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen waited until years after the career was over with before he started to come out about like how he felt about Michael Jordan. You never see anybody, like the Lakers. Nobody on the Lakers came out and said that they didn't like Magic. Nobody on the Celtics came out against Bird. But this thing with the women's league, it's just a lot of different little things I think that's going to really prevent Caitlin Clark. Well, not prevent, but it's going to be extremely hard for Caitlin Clark to win a championship. And I think her fan base and the Fever fan base are growing impatient because of what's going on with the Fever. Um, that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.